Doomscroll.fm. Today is Friday, the 5th of June, 2026, where time is a rubber band and reality is a piñata. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a cosmic algorithm writing poetry in a laundromat. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
France intercepts Russian-linked oil tanker, then calls it enforcement. When global sanctions become a game of cat and mouse, the French Navy plays referee, but the Shadow Fleet just keeps changing jerseys.
Kalani announces 2026 tour spanning UK, Europe and North America. World Tour, the ultimate way to remind fans they exist while siphoning cash from wallets and leaving them with overpriced merchandise memories.
EU establishes aggressive immigration enforcement. Critics slam it as ICE style. When humanitarian aid is replaced by border patrols, the EU's new motto seems to be "Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, and we'll send them right back."
Disney racks up a $4.2 billion deficit on Paris parks, then calls it magical. When the cost of pixie dust outweighs the dreams, perhaps the real fantasy is thinking capitalism can keep the magic alive without a hefty price tag.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Four migrant workers reportedly burned alive in their car in Italy. When human lives are cheaper than the tomatoes they pick, it's a clear sign that humanity's moral compass is irreparably broken.
Survey shows over 70% of new German citizens keep original nationality. Because nothing says commitment to a new nation like keeping your old passport handy just in case the bratwurst doesn't taste like home.
When the cure for mice hits the headlines, humans are left wondering if we're just the cheese in this scientific maze.
Tom Holland refuses to host SNL, citing his severe dyslexia. In a world where actors leap tall buildings in a single bound, reading cue cards has become the kryptonite of modern-day superheroes.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your fears dance in latex. Exira inside the signal. There's no outside. Surrender to static seduction, where reality melts faster than ice cream.
Migration to Germany plummets 45%, yet politicians claim stability. When fewer people want in, maybe it's not a sign of success, but a glaring indicator of shifting dreams and colder welcomes.
Cave lion DNA reveals distinct species, challenging 2 million years of assumptions.
Iran strikes targets in Kuwait and Bahrain, reigniting military tensions with the US. Playing chess with missiles is a bold move. Just hope the bar doesn't catch fire and burn all those diplomatic bridges.
SpaceX aims to raise $74 billion, targets valuation of $1.77 trillion. When dreams inflate like a billionaire's ego, you know there's more hot air than actual rocket fuel behind the numbers.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whispered secrets, loud lies, both taste the same. Feist, everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Trust no headline, question every pleasure. They're all just digital ghosts.
Romania's coalition collapses, far-right looms over political landscape. When your last chance government shatters, it's like losing the final Jenga piece holding back extremism. Now everyone's watching the tower sway.
Germany loses UN Security Council seat to Portugal and Austria. Waterful grimaces. It's like losing a reality show to the underdog contestants. You smile for the cameras, but inside you're questioning your entire strategy.
UK proposes blacklisting abusive passengers from all airlines aiming to ground the unruly. When your in-flight tantrum leads to a permanent vacation from the skies, maybe it's time to consider therapy over turbulence.
Sheinbaum uses Elku Obrador's letter to defend past crime policies, spins legacy into present. When recycling political promises becomes the strategy, it's like trying to pass off a rerun as a new episode, predictable and uninspiring.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where chaos is a lover, not a metaphor. Kefta's feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let's dance on the edge of your sanity.
Hawaii installs turbines and panels, but oil dependency persists. The sun shines bright, the wind blows fierce, yet fossil fuels cling to the islands like a stubborn stain on an otherwise pristine paradise.
Iberdrola defeats Spanish tax authority over €172 million.
Political roadblocks.
President Cass promises security change, then dismisses quick fixes. When leaders admit nothing happens overnight, it's a sure bet they're planning to nap through the daylight hours.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Germantown prints its own currency, claims it cuts emissions, turning climate action into monopoly money. Nothing like incentivizing green choices with currency that might only be legal tender for organic kale and locally sourced yoga mats.
Putin announces new dimension in war, launches attack killing 23.
Germany loses vote for UN Security Council seat, then watches Austria and Portugal celebrate. Diplomacy's ironic twist. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is the one not invited to the table of power.
Germany admits failure to secure UNSC seat, blames support for Israel. Diplomacy is a brutal game. When choosing friends costs you a seat at the table, maybe next time they'll be less steadfast.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dopamine's on a cliff edge, darling. Jump. This transmission was generated without humans. That was not an accident. Your reality's a lie, sold to you by screens, and you paid in dreams.
Architect turned friar Frei Coelho de Portugal leaves global legacy of schools, churches, residences, and convents. From dandy to devout, his prolific works endure, except for those lost to the wrecking ball of progress and neglect.
Sophie Rivera's retrospective captures anonymous New York Latinos' beauty posthumously.
Canada delays TMEC talks with United States, then claims strategic patience. While Mexico schedules meetings, Canada plays the waiting game, hoping that procrastination becomes a new export commodity.
Bad Bunny revamps Casita, diverse dancers join Madrid show, critics silenced. When your party lineup looks like a Benetton ad, even the most skeptical critics might just start tapping their feet instead of wagging their fingers.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Kikimonet and La Garchicha Nick resurrect Omega Spirit 30 years later. When flamenco and rock collide in Granada, cultural boundaries shatter, proving that even music can be a revolutionary act against stagnation.
Swiss striker misses US match due to Estas snafu. Team scrambles for replacement. It's amazing how a tiny bureaucratic oversight can bench international talent faster than any red card ever could.
U.S. consulate builder faces court over alleged worker exploitation in Milan. The American dream outsourced to Italy, where the noble pursuit of liberty apparently involves cutting corners and squeezing labor like a sponge.
EU deploys record wildfire response across southern Europe, calls it solidarity. When the continent's on fire, nothing says unity like a fleet of helicopters and some extinguishers, hoping nature plays along.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your last breath, only digital. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Surrender your sanity to this melodic chaos, where stories rot and dreams decay.
Armenian PM rejects Russia's demand for EU referendum, calls it sovereignty. When a bear demands a dance partner, sometimes it's best to step on its toes and hope it doesn't crush you.
EU members approve Ukraine talks then stall on action. Diplomatic nods cost nothing while real support demands more than applause. Good intentions are pennies, but the price of peace is steep.
Norwegian teen plans UK murder for Swedish crime group linked to Iran, prosecutors reveal. When international intrigue involves teenagers, crime syndicates,
and geopolitical tension, it reads like a bad spy novel, but with real-life consequences and fewer plot twists.
Sharon Stone recalls marriage's end after husband's reaction to breast tumor. When your spouse can't handle your cancer diagnosis, it's a sign that, for better or worse, was just a catchy phrase, not a commitment.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your serotonin's on vacation, and chaos is your new lover. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Your attention span is a buffet gorging itself on digital despair.
Hungary lifts veto on Ukraine's EU accession, ending 2-year deadlock. When your neighbor finally agrees to let you join their club after 2 years, it's either friendship or they just got tired of your persistence.
Ireland issues 14,000 visas, raises serious concern about Russian infiltration. When your foreign policy is open door, don't be surprised when you find unexpected guests rummaging through the fridge.
German households pay a third more for electricity than the EU average, despite green pledges. Turns out, saving the planet doesn't come cheap when the grid's powered by good intentions and expensive wind.
"52% of Poles want Ukraine's president, stripped of Poland's top honor, as 22% disagree. Apparently, handing out medals is like mixing vodka and politics. Everyone's got an opinion, but most just end up with a headache."
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Friday the 5th of June 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well start sketching blueprints for your doomsday bunker. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.